pre-sentence report shows that you're a high risk level, which tells me that after they've looked at everything, that you don't have, unfortunately, a good likelihood of being successful if I were to put you on probation. And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it. And there's got to be something done. So in cause number 25, DCCR 1759, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for choosing to hang out with your host, the Conservative Bird, and me, Double T. And you're on the Brick Road Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. We really appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. Also, if you could beforehand, please make sure to hit the like, hit the share, hit the subscribe, and smash the notification. It's the quick, easy, and free way to help this channel grow as big as possible. So, Double D, we finally have judges that are willing to hold people accountable, and it's actually like becoming a breath of fresh air that you actually start seeing this again, because it seems like nowadays people can do the most heinous crimes and just get let out constantly, time after time after time. And we've seen it with the lady that was killed in Virginia, right? What was her name? The Ukrainian lady, right? I forget exactly what her name is.
But with the Ukrainian blonde girl, on the subway.
Right. And he was let out because of liberal judges millions and millions and millions of times for doing the craziest stuff. The guy in the freeway that, what's his name, had to, the guy almost got in trouble for in New York City. Remember Daniel Penny? That guy had multiple charges, crazy charges, and just kept getting let out over and over and over again. And what it is it's these liberals that are trying to cater to crime, and it just doesn't work. And now we see the cause and effect of that, and we're starting to have judges now, Double D, that aren't going to take it anymore.
You know what I think, Bert? I think sometimes there just has to be enough punishment to put people back in their place. Because, and I mean put people back in their place by conforming to the law, because we are a nation of laws, all right? I don't mean that we all have to be under control or something like that, but you do got to follow the laws. That's what they're there for. And when you have judges and when you have district attorneys throwing people back out in the street, going light on them in the name of wokeness, what you're going to have, you're gonna have all these problems. You're gonna have nothing but situations, and nothing positive comes out of it.
No.
And the bottom line is the chickens have come home to roost, and this judge has finally had enough. Now, to be honest, I don't know what her track record is otherwise. Has she followed in that woke path in the past? I don't know. We're probably not going to do the research to find that out because it's not really necessary.
Right.
But we do know this: in the state of Texas, unlike the state of New York, where they're still doing that dumb shit, the state of Texas has had enough.
Exactly. I don't disagree. And
it's as simple as that.
You know, the one thing I want to say, too, is sometimes you need to show that a system is broken in order to fix it. So this is what these liberals wanted, right? They wanted all this free reign to do anything. They wanted to be less on crime and replace police with, service agents,
committees,
they want to completely revamp everything and make things better for the criminals, and then you got to show them that it doesn't work, and then you got to go back to being harsher on these people again. And this judge is a prime example, along with the prosecutor.
Here's what I got to ask. Have they really been doing it to try to make life better for Americans, or have they been doing it just to get votes from criminals?
Well, yeah, that's what it is. It's catering to their demographic.
Catering to a constituency, and it's backfiring. And, Hochul is a good example of that. Letitia James is a good example of that. Alvin Bragg is a good example of that.
I agree.
All of those freaking judges in New York are great examples of catering to criminals for nothing more than the sake of what? votes. Nothing more.
I agree.
But you know what? Let that clip roll, Bird.
Yeah, so let's check this out. We're going to show you guys this. A judge finally holding actually a very young man, just 19 years old, holding him accountable for his actions for once. And it's just a great thing to see. It is literally a breath of fresh air.
Community from somebody like this defendant. You are that person that can either let him walk out of this courtroom on probation with a piece of paper with conditions and promises that he won't resort to this kind of violence that you saw on that video, or you can ensure that the community is safe by putting him behind steel bars, concrete wall, and razor wire fence. I'm just asking. I'm not in the habit of begging, but on behalf of this community, I'm begging that you send this defendant to prison. The message that needs to be sent to this defendant and his circle of friends and anybody who would want to be like this defendant is that if you pick up a gun with the intent to commit violence, you're going to pick up a 15, 20, 25-year prison sentence, Judge.
And, you know, I think that's the biggest point. I think that is the biggest point, Double D. The biggest point is to send a message to his friends in the community and let them know we're not going to deal with this anymore. If you're going to do this, you're going to be held accountable from now on. We're done with not holding people accountable for their crimes. We're tired of giving people slaps on the wrist for things that could blow over into something extremely serious, like, you know, unaliving people or things of that nature, which could have happened in this situation, because what it was is him and three of his friends robbed a store clerk.
Right, and they terrorized the guy for over an hour. Now, they could have killed that guy.
Right, exactly.
They could have unalived him, and fortunately that didn't happen. So thank God that wasn't the case. But if you don't set an example, at what point? At what point does it happen? And that's exactly what that's exactly this district attorney, as far as I'm concerned, he should be reelected and reelected and reelected for the rest of his life, because this man knows exactly what's going on and he knows exactly how to handle it. And I am 1,000% behind him.
Yeah, district attorney. I said prosecutor earlier. I meant district attorney. Yeah,
the same thing. They're the same thing. They're the same thing, Bird. It's the same
and I'm just
thing.
asking that you do this on behalf of people who live at the Pine Club apartments who just want to live in peace. People who want to go take a walk at Rogers Park and not be robbed, and somebody that wants to stop at a Speedy Mart convenience store and pick up some snacks without becoming a victim of a robbery. That's all I have, Judge.
Thank you, Mr. Coleman. So, Mr. Fontenette, there was a time some years ago that there really wasn't even a question. State's attorneys were recommending youthful offenders, probation. Let's give everybody an opportunity. And things have just changed in such an incredibly dangerous way with young people doing what I just saw you do on that screen.
And you know, that's what it is. You know, these people are the crimes are just getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher, to where eventually it's just going to become the normal if you don't do something about it. And that's what it's becoming. It's becoming the normal for these young kids to just go out, rob people, rob stores, breaking and entering. We've seen all the grab and goes where like clusters of kids, like 50 of them, run in the store, snatch stuff and run out. You know what I mean? So that's what this is all evolving into. And it could evolve into something serious like this, you know, these armed robberies becoming just a completely, absolutely normal thing. And that's what the liberals want. The liberals love chaos. The Democrats, they love chaos. They thrive on chaos.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Washington, Oregon, California, Illinois, Minnesota, New York, Virginia, I mean, I could go on all day, but those are the main ones. I think what we're finding here is a serious case of Democrat policy fatigue. People are just sick and tired of policies that are light on crime, and not to mention harsh on the victims. The victims in all of this. Have any of these Democrats or any of these liberal judges or liberal district attorneys or liberal prosecutors or liberal politicians in general, have they ever given a second thought to the actual victims?
No, they don't care.
You know, that young Ukrainian lady in Virginia. That should have never happened.
No.
It should have never happened. If that dude was in jail, this doesn't happen.
He should have been locked up 5 or 10. He should
was her name, right?
Yeah. He should have been locked up 10 to 15 offenses ago.
Oh, absolutely. And he should have gotten some time too to make a point.
Right.
So you know what? I would, yeah, there was a time in my life that I actually thought that younger offenders should be at least given somewhat of a chance, but you still give them 18 months.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't give people probation for violent crimes.
No,
You just don't do that.
I don't disagree.
I mean,
I
yeah,
actually agree with her, giving him 25 years, right on her.
oh, absolutely. Dude, they were torturing that man.
Yeah.
Or the victim. I'm not sure if it was a male victim or not.
I believe
I'm
it
pretty
was.
sure it was a male.
I
Yeah,
believe
I
it
thought
was.
so too.
I cannot
But
imagine
anyway.
the fear that person had that was working in that store, that he now has just trying to go to work, make a living, and go home.
Exactly.
And he has 3 people come in and not just grab a little quick something and run out, but terrorize him for quite some time. Pulling him around, yanking him around, putting guns in his face, all 3 of you.
Insane.
I also, in addition to the PSI, get jail incident reports.
Yep.
And you apparently like to fight and jump people, which is
Wow.
what's been happening in the jail. So it makes it very difficult for me to go, oh, this is somebody that's going to get out and behave, who can follow the rules, because
And that's the point. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're in trouble right now. You're not necessarily know if you're going to prison. You don't know if you're getting probation. You don't know, but you're in there and you're fighting still. Like, what do you got? I understand it's prison, it's jail, and if somebody comes to you, you have to step. But I'll guarantee that they were starting with people, or it's just people that he didn't get along with in the streets.
Right. And then she already made it a point that they were in there jumping people anyway. So he's absolutely learned. He don't even fight one-on-one. He's a punk.
Right.
He's a punk ass who likes to jump people. That's just that is just a sick person and a sick group of young men who just enjoy making people's lives miserable.
Yeah.
Who enjoys torturing people. What do they call those? Sadists? Isn't that what those are called? Basically a sadist who enjoys inflicting pain on others. Well, I hope pain is inflicted on him while he's in prison. I hope they separate the 3 of them so that when they finally do get to the institution, and I hope he has to fight 50 times in his first 60 days. And I hope a few ass kickings happen.
Knowing the severity of this, I doubt they're going to put them together. They're most likely going to separate them.
I hope they do, so that way they can't protect each other. That way they have to fight one-on-one. Because when you get in prison, you either man up or you're fucked, honestly.
you can't even follow the rules in jail. And the pre-sentence report shows that you're a high risk level, which tells me that after they've looked at everything, that you don't have, unfortunately, a good likelihood of being successful if I were to put you on probation. And Mr. Coleman's right. We're tired of it. And there's got to be something done. So in cause number 25, DCCR 1759, I'm going to find that you entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. And at this time, I'm going to find you guilty of aggravated robbery. I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division.
That's right. 25 years is necessary.
Look at his family all pissed off in the background, yelling and shouting instead of being upset that they raised a little piece of shit. How crazy is that? How are you not mad at yourself? Why are you not mad at yourself for the man you raised?
Exactly. If they didn't raise a man, they raised a punk. They didn't raise a man. He might be a man when he gets out of prison, or he might come out wearing lipstick with pink fingernails. We're not sure. Either way, he's about to find out, because I'm looking at him. He ain't that big.
No,
he ain't that big.
No,
and he's about to find out what it's like in adult penitentiary. He's been in the juvenile home right now. He's in a juvie.
No, I think he's been an adult. He's 19.
Yeah, but I thought they committed the crime when they were under, or well, maybe, yeah, okay. So he's not in juvie. Yeah. Either way, they need to separate the three of them, and he needs to ride this one out on his own and become a real man.
Come on, here.
I'm going to sentence you to a term of 25 years in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Corrections. You will receive credit on that sentence for any time that you've been in custody that the law gives you the right to receive. I'm handing you the trial court certification. This was not an agreement. You have some rights to appeal. I have also handed you a written admonishment regarding your ineligibility to possess a firearm or ammunition. Because of the judgment entered against you, you're ineligible under Texas law to possess a firearm or ammunition. Possession of a firearm or ammunition could lead to charges against you. You can talk to Mr. Rojas about any questions you have about that. I am making an affirmative finding of a deadly weapon. Mr. Fontenette, I understand that this is harsh, and I know you believe this is harsh, but I think this is necessary. I hope that you go and you make things right. You can get out of prison. You're still going to be young, and you can make your life better. That's going to be up to you, okay? You can go back with the bailiff.
And there you
Goodbye,
go.
Mr.
And there you go.
Fontenot.
That's real judge doing something really important to show the community that she is not there for the criminals, that she is there for the community. And that is the most important thing. When you are a judge, you need to do what's right for the community.
Not what's right for the woke, not what's right for your votes, not what's right for the Democrat Party, not what's right for the liberal woke assholes. You know, like those Antifa guys, man. Was there like 8 or 9 of them?
Yeah, good
They're all
riddance.
getting 10. Yeah, they got like 10 to 20. Finally, someone made an example out of them.
Right, good
And hell,
riddance.
and that was in a state from which they probably likely would, under normal circumstances, wouldn't have gotten that harsh of penalties. But damn, dude, this generation has to learn. This is the bottom line. There are consequences for your actions. If you're going to be an asshole, if you're going to be a complete criminalistic animal, then expect to be caged like one.
Exactly.
He got exactly what he deserved. And thank God we finally got a judge with some balls to do it.
There you go. I like it. And she doesn't even have any balls.
You got bigger balls than Alvin Bragg, I'll tell you that.
That's crazy. That's not saying much.
Well, Mr. Coleman, that's a good frickin' prosecutor right there.
Yeah.
Props to Mr. Coleman. Mr. Coleman, you're a good man. You called for the right punishment. And finally, somebody who said enough's enough and a judge who followed.
I agree. Well, I think on that note, we're going to end it. We really do appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out with us. You know, it is a pleasure always having you guys. Most importantly, I want to thank God, because without him, none of this is possible. I want to thank Double D. I want to thank my friends and family, and thank the audience.
First and foremost, I want to give my condolences to the family of Chuck Norris.
R.I.P. Chuck Norris.
Yes, our man Chuck passed away. The All-American badass is no longer with us, so I want to give out my condolences and love and respect out to Chuck and his family. With that, Bird, thanks for making the show happen as you always do. Audience, thanks for sticking around. We really appreciate it because you're the reason, we're the reason. But most importantly, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, who allows me to be here to bring this message. And with all that, good night, y'all.
And I just want you guys to remember, Chuck Norris didn't die. Die Chuck Norris. Have a good night. Peace.